recording.
It's happening. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Trying to Be Better with Joel and Steve podcast. My name is Joel.
And I'm Steve.
And this is our podcast. I'm outside right now because I need to be outside.
I was chuckling to myself. There's that meme I sent you months ago about so I can't remember what the lead-in was. It was like, you're talking about the world is like having problems. Like, look, there are men that have podcasts. That's how bad things are.
That's how bad things are going. And the fact that hey, it's not just a pandemic thing, everybody. We're still rocking it.
I would say that we're post-pandemic, but that doesn't seem to be true.
Dude, I've heard that phrase tossed around. I overheard someone say earlier today, like, now that the pandemic is over, I'm like, I don't think it's over.
No, because most people aren't vaccinated yet.
Yeah, it's like,
and the cases are climbing. And although, the thing that I'm taking solace in is the fact that all of the people that are dying are unvaccinated.
Joe Biden said the other day, like, this is the pandemic of the unvaccinated, which is fucking sad because, like, I saw something today that was like, here we go. We're getting political. Who cares? But like, they're at the Fox News building, they have a passport, like a vaccine passport thing. But like most of those people on there are peddling the, vaccine hesitancy or worse.
Yeah. Well, I saw a thing today where Sean Hannity is now saying, please get vaccinated. This is unprecedented times. Like, go fuck yourself, Sean Hannity.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
Like, seriously? Just because, like, oh gosh, it's getting to the point that we actually look like idiots and our position is untenable. So now we're going to start backpedaling on that. Go fuck yourself, Sean Hannity.
Yep. Go fuck Hey, and Tucker Carlson, you can go fuck yourself too.
Yeah. Why don't you guys go down to the gym and pump each other?
Welcome to the podcast. If you would like to comment on any of that, you can find us on Instagram at Trying to Be Better Podcast or email the show at
ttbbpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we like to get everybody riled up right away.
Sure, why not? Well, I figure we've been pretty, we haven't done anything inflammatory for a month or so it's time.
That's true. Although, I think
we're enjoying this kind of little like Pox Voxana.
Yeah.
Like, and like we're not tormented by headlines of just extreme cruelty and idiocy literally every day.
Yeah.
So it's it's like, we can breathe a little bit. Like then the reality sets in, like, no, we're actually still just not winning.
Yeah, it's still a fuck show.
Yeah.
Still a fuck show out there, everybody.
But hey, Jeff Bezos rode to space in a rocket shaped like a penis today. So that's
literally before we got on, I saw somebody post a meme. Well, it wasn't even a meme. It's just a little collage they made of Dr. Evil from the Austin Powers movies leaving in his penis shaped rocket, right? So and funny. Laughing right next to Jeff Bezos in his penis shaped rocket, leaving and laughing about it. It's like
all of the Amazon workers that are like, can't take a break and they're sneaking a leak in their Mountain Dew bottle or whatever.
Yep.
I was thinking, well, good for him.
I'm glad he gets to go to space on our backs.
Right. And frankly, everybody that buys stuff from Amazon, so I'm guilty.
Guilty as charged.
Yep.
It's
guilty. Although I bought a couple of things, some stuff for band stuff, some guitar equipment, and I actually one thing I bought from Amazon. But I actually made an effort to go look for some of the things elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so there's my contribution to society for the week.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I was thinking there's a few things I need for my bike. Like I need a new headlight and and I'm like, I should probably go down to Monkey Wrench and buy that shit instead of how easily it would be to just pop on my phone.
Right. Boop, boop.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Monkey Wrench Cyclery.
Yeah, it is. Those guys are great.
They are great. If you need a bike or bike stuff, go to them. They know what they're doing. Lincoln, Nebraska, Monkey Wrench Cycles.
And Kona bicycles.
Konas are, dude, we have the same bike. I know. I love my bike.
I hope you don't mind that I totally just copied you on that.
No, I don't mind at all. Do you
Good.
have a name? Is your bike named?
I it's the get down machine.
I love it.
Came to get down.
Came to
Thanks,
get you.
Johnny Eagle, for that sticker, by the way.
Oh, that's
And by
right.
the
You have that
yeah,
sticker on your thing.
yeah.
My bike's name is Honey because it's a dew, like
No,
wake me up
honey.
in the morning dew, my
Oh yeah.
honey. And
Oh, I
also,
get it. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
I went straight to honeydew, which I enjoy. The
That
melon.
too. There's a lot of, and I have a Pearl Jam Honey Bear sticker on it.
Oh
There's all
yeah.
kind. It's all rolled into one, right?
It all rolls into one.
Wow. Well,
So you said that
oh,
you had a thing today,
I
and
feel
I
like
don't know anything about this thing for our listeners. Like, hey, Joel just said he had a thing. I'm like, there's a topic. Let's go.
so it feels like I'm trying to avoid the topic, like I do
No,
on
but I do
therapy.
want to say we do have a very exciting guest coming up. It'll be
Yes.
in a couple of weeks. I had a scheduling snafu.
Yes.
So thanks to James for holding off for a little while.
Yeah,
I'm very
man. It'll be
excited to talk to. I'll just go ahead and say his name is James Boudreau, and he's the band leader for Bell Helium,
Yep.
the band out of New York that Anne is in. That was our guest a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he emailed us because he said you guys want an email. So
Yeah.
he's truly a swell human being. I can tell just
Yes.
because
Yes.
and I just said, man, I'd love to talk to you. And he agreed to be on the podcast. And I'm very excited to talk to him just because
Yeah, dude.
he's a really great musician and he's a working New York City artist, musician
Mhm.
person. And
Mhm.
this will be, it's like Joel was saying last week, it's a blind date for us, but I think it's going to be a blast. He's really
Yeah.
an interesting dude. And
Well, when we talked to Anne on the podcast, she had nothing but glowing things to say about him and made sure that the world knew that he was sort of the engine behind that band.
sure.
But I've heard her say wonderful things about James off the podcast. So James, if you're listening, you are well liked publicly and privately. So we're stoked to get to talk to him. I think that's really cool.
I think so too. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So
Yeah.
anyway, so back to Joel's crisis du jour.
So it's not necessarily a crisis du jour. So
Okay.
I mentioned before the podcast that I had a bit of a meltdown today, and I want you to know that this is coming in raw. It's raw, right? Like I'm not currently melting down, but I haven't really processed this with any of my, as Mike Z likes to say, the board of directors.
Right.
So I talked to Kirsten about it. She was very loving and helpful. But
Oh, good.
so let me set the stage.
Can't wait.
I'm outside. I'm working in the yard. I mow the yard. I do the things.
Wait, is this a Joel by himself thing?
Yes, I was by myself.
Okay, I can't wait. This is gonna be so good.
But I think you're going to be surprised at what happened. So
Okay.
I was mowing the yard. Yard looks great.
Sure.
I sat, meditate. I did my things this morning. Whatever. Mowed the yard. That's great. I'm hot and sweaty, and I'm like, one of the things that I've wanted to do. This a goal that I had was to clean out and go through the BS in our garage because
Yeah.
it's kind of a nightmare, right?
Sure.
Like
I can relate to that.
I had big dreams of building a workbench, but wood is
Yeah.
expensive. But I'm like, I got to clean this crap out before I even put shelves in. I have to do all of that.
I told you, man. I was standing in Yanni's chill zone,
Yeah,
and I was like, I really need to up my game.
yeah. Oh,
Because it was this really organized and
Yeah.
just like the chi in that room was perfect.
Yep.
I'm like, I could hang out here forever.
And I kind of wanted that, and I was like, man, it'd be cool to get that figured out. Especially we're riding bikes more. I want to learn how to tune my bike up or change the do stuff in there and just have it be not a space where just shit goes. Because
The
here's
place
what
where
happens.
things go, the place where things go to die.
Right. Well, yeah, that's exactly what's going on because especially in the summer, Kirsten doesn't park her car in there and we just kind of roll our bikes in there and shut the door.
Right.
And it's kind of just become we bought a kayak and it's just hanging out in there. It just turns into this thing. And I'm like, I really kind of would love to have that semi-organized or at least have some shelving to potentially organize some
I was
stuff.
proud of myself because I got bike hooks and hung our bikes.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start over here in the corner. So I start over there in the corner. I'm cleaning stuff out. It's going well. I move a little bit further. I'm well, there's totes and boxes of old stuff of Kirsten's and mine in there. And then there's at the back of my garage, there's this shelf and it's got old toys from my childhood. Right.
Oh,
and my brother's
oh.
childhood.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, I just want to see what's up there because I'm like, what do I do with this? Do I clean it off and display it? Do I try to sell it? What do I do with it? Because it's like we have like vintage toys, like Star Wars toys,
Sure.
GI Joe, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So I start looking through it, and it's a treasure trove of nostalgia as well as a treasure trove of memories.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's old pictures of my
Mm-hmm.
parents and there's, and you know what got me is there's this photo of me and my brother Colin having a catch.
Oh man. Mm-hmm.
And and it was like I was probably, I don't know, 5th grade maybe.
Oh wow. Way back.
Fourth, 5th grade. He
Little
was
Joel.
little guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all the GI Joes and all the Star Wars toys. I'm taking photos and stuff. I found, and you'll get a kick out of this. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but when I was a kid, I had a bit of a anger issue. And
No.
my parents gave me like my first self help book was called "Sometimes It's Okay to Be Angry."
Wow.
So I found that was up
Cool.
there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a fire hose of old feelings. And
Yeah.
I started feeling that stuff and it got to me. And it was kind of like, I don't want to go into too much detail because I honestly haven't processed this, but here's what I was telling Kirsten as tears were streaming down my face. None of these people, like my brother's still alive, he's going to listen to this.
Yeah.
My dad's still with us, my mom's still with, like, my nuclear family is still intact, but there's a lot of grief from the divorce, and there's a lot of
Mhm.
grief from, just like letting go of childhood. And like, I think last year when I turned 40, it was peak pandemic. And so I just like, drove right through those feelings. Like I didn't
Sure.
have to see anybody. And there was a lot of feelings. And I was telling Kirsten, I was like, I don't know if everybody feels this way when they go through stuff. It's like, it hurt. Like there's a lot of pain.
Mhm.
Not that there was any traumatic stuff besides the divorce. It's just, I felt all of it, dude. And I was just like, it just kept coming up and kept coming up and kept coming up. And it was a lot, and Kirsten and I chatted about it. Like Kirsten kind of stopped what she was doing because she's working from home now. And she was just kind of let me have that stuff. And I went outside in the backyard and I did a body scan meditation with Tara Brock just to kind of come down to earth.
Nice.
But there was a lot of stuff, like, it's kind of,
I couldn't hear what you said.
my watch is listening to me.
Always.
So yeah, there was just a lot of old stuff in the garage, right? Like a lot of old stuff in the basement that, and so I don't know, like, I don't know if that's a topic, but that's definitely
totally a topic.
that was kind of because I don't even know what to do with that. I mean, I have a therapist.
Mhm.
I have teachers, spiritual leaders in my life, in recovery and elsewhere. I have a spiritual practice. I have made sense of a lot of that stuff, but it's like grief is one of those things that like you don't get a warning.
Nope.
And I feel like that was what it was because I was telling her, I'm like, why does this shit hurt? Like there's a lot of pain and I'm like, I'd rather just wistfully look at old stuff and kind of like wax nostalgic. Like
Sure.
there's a lot of pain there still. And I'm like, and I told Kirsten while in the midst of kind of feeling all that, which I'm grateful I get to do today. I'm like, well, this is showing me there's some stuff that needs addressed still.
Yeah.
It's like layers of the onion. So I don't know, man. I guess that's me raw dogging it there. I don't really know.
Well,
I've not. It happened this afternoon. I don't really know. Like I haven't really made a lot of sense of it yet.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that experience is A, valid, and B, probably not that unique.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've had that same experience every time I go through, just going through the stuff, I haven't moved for 16 years, so that's not really a thing, but periodically I'll go through and take a sweep through my desk and my drawers and my boxes and my stuff. And I'll be like looking for one thing and I'll find some other thing from some other memento, a photo, a letter, or whatever, and they almost invariably bring up some sort of grief.
Yeah. Right.
But from a 25-year span of my life.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. whether it's pain that I caused or pain that, was dealt to me or whatever,
Yeah.
and that I don't have an answer for you other than that's valid. Like, I'm kind of sorry you had that experience, but I'm not, because it obviously needed, because I guess, like, if it didn't need to happen, you would have just thought, oh, look at that picture.
And that's profound, because that's exactly and this is all, I mean, there's a lot of things going on in this machine. Like, there's therapeutic, there's meditation, there's recovery, there's, just simply getting older. And that was clear as a bell that this was something that was like, hey dude, this is a big feeling. It's not killing you and you're not running from it. You have all the tools at your disposal to sort of investigate that and feel it. And I know I have a team around me of, things that I can do. And that's the cool thing. It wasn't like touching a hot stove, like, nope, I'm out, I can't do this, or get defensive. It was like, this stuff definitely needs to be worked through, or I don't know, addressed.
Well, it's entering the room. It's entering the playing field.
Yeah. Yep.
And, I mean, there's definitely a tendency. And I think, well, I mean, we are around people, we're surrounded in an environment where we're going to have a conversation about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not this thing of like, shove it back down, shove it back down.
Right.
Get back in the box.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do whatever people do that are stuffing feelings. I don't,
Yeah. I mean, that's energy that needs to go somewhere. And I think that we all know, I definitely know and have had experience with that sort of feeling and energy. I mean, that's why my parents gave me that book. Sometimes It's Okay to Be Angry. I think it was probably around the time of my parents' divorce. And I must say, because if my parents, I think maybe my dad and mom listen to this, I'm okay. And it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's good.
Right.
You guys didn't need to, I have made peace with that. I'm not pining for something that's impossible. Come really
on. Why don't you pine for the impossible thing?
But like, I don't fault them at all. Like, I get it. Like, I'm married and I understand that what goes into that, and not all of that works out. So it's not like, poor me, I'm a child of divorce. But that book kind of came around at that time. And I think my parents lovingly saw, well, we better introduce this kid to different tools, because otherwise this energy is going to come out somehow.
Yeah.
And
which it did.
It did. And it did. And it could be really, and sometimes it's really bad and sometimes it's really good. I actually, weirdly enough, like on my birthday at my mom's house last week, I thanked her for like, hey, thanks for like introducing me to spirituality and therapy and, recovery,
Sure.
like, so anyway, I'm told Kirsten, I'm like, I'm going to read that book. I'll take a photo of that book and put it on our Instagram.
So it's still like the original book, the one that they gave you.
Yes.
Wow.
Sometimes It's Okay to Be Angry. I think it was over my head at the time, honestly. Like,
yeah,
I bet there's some nuggets of spiritual wisdom in that.
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, here's hoping.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an eye opener, and I don't think, and again, I appreciate you saying that, Steve. Like, I know that that's not unique, and I know that I'm not alone in that. Like that experience of like, oh, I'm just, I'm going to go through this thing or look at this thing, or maybe for somebody out there, it's a song or a movie, or you're driving by a specific part of town and it like hits you. And it's either you let that in and feel it, or you don't. And you keep shoving that in the back of the drawer, it's going to fester,
Right.
So I'm at a point where I don't want that to fester. Not that it has, but I'm just like, that's a thing. And maybe it's not a big thing, but it's one of those things that I can't like not address.
Right. Which you're doing. Like, you talk to your wife about it. You're talking to me about it. You'll talk to other people about it.
Yeah. Yep.
You get to, that's the thing that's so cool about the lives that we have is that we have the opportunity where that's normal. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like you're not sitting down at the one more bar, drinking that away.
I am
Or
I saw a meme too. I bring up memes a lot, but I saw a meme the other day that was like
it's our culture. We communicate in memes.
the 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 people that are transparent about their recovery are saving lives they don't even know. So it's like,
Right.
yeah, I have a host of people in recovery. And I have guides in that program, and I have other tools at my disposal, and I'll deal with that, and that's like that's just the trip about life, dude, is like, there's always more layers to discover, and I don't know. I think that there's also a part of me that's like, could be, when does this ever chill?
Well, here's the thing.
When does this ever level out?
I'll tell you, I had a thing about that recently, which is that, and I know I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again, but I turned 50 recently.
Right.
50, 50.
50, half a century.
Yeah. And so, I mean, averages being averages, I've probably got 25 years left, maybe 30,
Right.
And so that's really put things into perspective. And I mean, I hope it's 40, as long as I can still get around. If I can ambulate and pee, I'll probably be okay,
Right.
But if I don't have any quality of life, I don't want that shit.
Right.
For my own selfish reasons, because I like to be comfortable and be able to walk and pee on my own. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, things are
you like to pee in the bathroom.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. On when I would like to do that,
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Anyway,
I'm just throwing back to last episode when you're like, I was peeing in the bathroom. It's like, I'm glad you were peeing in the bathroom, dude.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Sorry.
But so anyway, I think I was on a meeting. Whatever. I just had this flash of, you're talking about, doesn't this ever stop? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
Not in my experience anyway. But here's the thing is that, like I had this flash of being completely open to more growth.
Like
it hit like a thunderbolt, like my brain just cracked open.
Yeah.
And to be like open to that. Because it would be so easy to say, nope, this is it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Not growing anymore. And this is what I've got. Whatever is still fucked is going to stay that way. And that's it.
I think that's a really, really tempting idea.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm done now. I'm done with new ideas. I'm done with new feelings. I'm done. Because it, like you just said, sometimes it hurts and sometimes it's really hard, and the hits just keep coming. Right. Yeah. I mean, I'll turn around. I could look at whatever, pick up a book, and next thing I know, I haven't thought about that in 45 years. I think I'll cry about that for a while. It's like,
yeah.
When does it stop? And the answer is anytime you want it to.
Yeah.
I'm going to be set in stone, and there's going to be no more new feelings and no more new experiences. And this is what and who I am. And that's it. And like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Like
I don't either.
Like our friend Kemper.
Yep.
He's a shining example of that. We should get him on here. I don't even think he's even listened to us once. We got to give him a hard time about that.
We really should. Yeah. I actually just reached out to him today.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think he's been on vacation, but whatever. But like, there's like, if you need a guiding light, somebody that's late 70s that's just out killing it, Yeah.
And willing to dig deeper and willing to be open to the experience. I mean, I think that we should really try to get him on just to follow up this conversation, because I think there's something really beautiful about what you said, Steve, which is, I think that because of having, it's not by any virtue of mine, but it's like the communities we're in and the tools at my disposal and the spiritual life and all that shit. When I feel that shit, when life happens, because it's going to, you're right. You have a choice of saying, I can either shut that away or I can lean into it.
Yep.
And I want to be the kind of person that embraces that.
Yep.
And I was telling Kirsten, I was like, man, I kind of feel like some of that stuff, that old grief, those old feelings, whatever it is, it's like Loch Ness monster underneath the
whole he totally.
I don't know what's down there. It could be like an old shitty floaty toy, or it could be like the Rancor from Star Wars. Like, I don't know what's
Release
down
the Kraken.
It could be the Kraken. And I think that's a whole other deal. Is that I feel like I got the mess.
It could be the Kraken or the Rancor.
Right.
Like it really could be if you let it.
But no matter what it is, I have everything I need to look at it, to let it be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here, just in case anybody listening thinks I'm coming from some sort of spiritual hellscape.
Helltop.
Yeah, helltop. HELL. Like I had a hell of a day today. My day started at 5:30 with an email that nobody wants to get. And I mean, it ended up okay. It was fine, but like it was 19 rounds with the champ,
Yeah, right.
And I got home and I was just wiped out. My mom was coming over to watch the girls for a little bit. It's a long story, which was very nice. It's very wonderful that she can do that and wants to do that. And I think it's mutually beneficial to everybody. But like, I was done talking and processing and, listening and thinking. And I was like, I'm done. I told her, I'm like, I can't, I don't want to be around anybody right now.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't here and if I wasn't going for a bike ride now, I would be downstairs in my cave.
Yeah.
Healing myself, and by that I mean I literally mean watching Burt Reynolds movies.
That's what I was my impulse was after that whole thing went down. I was like, I just want to go down into the basement and play video games until I have to do whatever I have to do next. And thank God for my fucking partner. She was like, why don't you try body scan? And she also she talked about on her episode about some of the work she's doing with journaling and like journal speak. And she suggested journaling. And I was like, I don't think I can do that. Thank you, but I'm not ready for that. Maybe I will.
This is my journaling right here.
Yeah, this is my journal.
You're my journal. This is my journal.
But I was like, okay, I will sit outside and I will do that. And the Tara Brach sort of,
I listen to some of her things. They're good
because like I needed to, and I think we need to, as a society, talk about this more. That grief, those feelings, that anxiety, that sadness, that joy, it's a physiological experience that should be recognized as such.
Yep.
When it's bad, I tend to identify with it and say that it's something faulty with my brain or something I separate from my body. That's what people do with trauma.
What do you mean by bad? You mean uncomfortable?
Yeah, that it's unpleasant, therefore it's bad, therefore I should try to get rid of it, or there's something faulty with me, that's why I'm feeling it. But I think that we have a long way to go, I think, in our world about recognizing that those feelings, and Kirsten is teaching me a lot with this too, but that stuff exists in the body too. And if you don't address that physically as well and let that come back to your physical self.
Oh my God. That's been such a huge thing for me the last year or so, is that like literally I do this all the time. It's what got me through today, is these little micro pauses where I just pause and I force myself. I literally stop myself and I relax my eyes and I relax my scalp and I relax my shoulders and I take 3 or 4 deep breaths. Because I had a dozen irons in the fire all day today. And some of them were like falling out of the fire and causing other fire. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, and it was just, oh my God. And there was a couple moments where I literally thought, I'm like, I don't know which way to go right now because every direction is bad, so I just went to the closest one, or the thing. So anyway, like that, to force myself to just, because that's when the internal heat and the internal pressure starts cooking. And then that's when I start acting really awesome to God's kids.
Right. Well, that's when you start to kind of leave your body and start kind of being.
I'm not where my hands are. I'm not where my body is. I'm in some place of fear and anger, and I'm loading the guns.
Well, there's something to that though, and Kirsten's been teaching me. Maybe we should have her back on to process this. But like, that's really honey, cool. You do. What are that's you doing really right cool. Now? It's really cool you do that, because in that moment you're able to bring your experience to the now, and that is changing your physical experience with those unpleasant
Yep.
things.
I
Like you're,
literally say to myself, and I sometimes I kind of puke in my mouth a little bit when I say it, but it's like, okay, present moment, wonderful moment.
yeah, yeah,
And I remind myself of like that, like right now in this, moment. And sometimes it takes me a couple minutes to get there sometimes.
well, you're teaching,
Present moment, wonderful moment,
your higher self is teaching your spirit, but it's teaching your body that
Body.
you are okay.
Yep.
Because
That's the biggest thing. That thing about the term is escaping me, Josh Cord will be like, well, it's this, but it's where is it parasympathetic?
Yes, sympathetic paras. So it's like the point of it to get from like fight,
or flight,
freeze or fawn to
Yeah.
rest and digest.
Yeah. And so like I do that in measured doses throughout the day, because I'll feel myself like, okay, we're getting into a place where I'm not in control.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not in control of my body. I'm not in control of my thoughts. And I'm aware of that now.
Yeah.
And like, that's no good to anybody, right? Especially me. Right. So I force myself to get into the rest and digest phase just a little bit. Let's get in touch, relax my belly, and just kind of, okay, what's actually happening right now? And then I'm able to take skillful actions.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
It is, because otherwise, if you put me in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn enough, and I just do that over and over and over and over again, that is the neural pathway in my brain that has the easiest route to safety, right, to what I think safety
what
is.
What I think is safety.
Because it's like,
get the fuck out of my way, because I'm trying to protect myself.
Because I think, like, on a like a anthropological evolutionary level, my body thinks there are saber-toothed tigers chasing me.
Right. Yeah. That's so interesting.
You know what I mean?
No, it's like I can totally relate to that.
Yes, because that picture of whatever, that old toy, that old picture of my family is the tiger that's going to, or the feeling that comes with that is the tiger that's going to kill me. It is not. And like, you teach, I train the ability to heal and lead myself through scary stuff, and glean truth and compassion and understanding. If I run away from that stuff, that whole party leaves. Like, that whole ability to learn that shit goes right out the door. And then what am I good for? Not what am I good for, but
Joel, good God, y'all, what is he good for?
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's like, it's like, it's going to come around terrible again, man, and it could be worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things. There's a few kind of touchstone points that, like, if I'm reminded them in my life, like, it's not good.
Yep.
It's not good. And so, and like, I don't know. I feel like I've done some work on them, and I think today I'm kind of in a place of like, yeah, that wasn't great. Next.
Right. Kirsten said, and I'm just thinking about this, she the work that she does, and has really changed her life. And again, everybody that's listening, fucking not an expert, obviously, on any of this stuff. So, like, check out the actual experts maybe. But she suggests, she's like, one of the practices she's tried, and she offered this to me, is like, get the journal out, pick an age where that's really tender, and let whatever that version of yourself have the floor.
Oh, interesting.
And you can say whatever you want to say. It's totally safe to say this stuff. And I'm like, that's when I was like, Loch Ness Monster, I don't know what's underneath the surface, man.
She's like, well, why don't you get a pen and paper? Why don't you put pen to paper on that?
Yeah. She's braver than I am.
That's like going into the Mariana Trench looking for, deep sea life.
Exactly. And I know that there's tectonic plates shifting down there and could, boil over.
They could.
And then
what would happen?
Then I have, but that's the thing. Like the more, this is the analogy is getting intense, but I have like the James Cameron, deep sea
Right.
dive. I have all the tools to deal with that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I said, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I was prepped for this whole experience. Like the last couple of days, been a little not melancholy, just like, I think I listened to a few things on impermanence. My heart was a little open to like loss and grief and death.
Mm.
And I've got a friend who's battling cancer right now. And it's kind of like,
Yep.
wow, that's a thing that I'm going to,
I'm like, I'm not on a demographic where I have two friends battling cancer.
exactly. Right. Like,
It's like,
yeah,
that's those are the things that we have to look forward to.
yeah. But yeah, but I could either like run away from those or lean into them. And anyway, this is what comes with it. Like I love that sort of mantra that Rob Bell puts out, and I think we've mentioned it a few times. But this is what comes with age and getting older, and also choosing a path of spiritual growth over one of oblivion.
Yeah,
this is what I signed up for, dude. I don't know why I'm so surprised.
Denial,
Yeah, I could be in denial, I guess.
Whatever.
Can you hear the cicadas right now? Is that coming?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I like them. I like hearing them.
I like them too.
We had, the lightning bugs are out too at night. I've seen a few of those. I love those things.
This is a total right turn, but I got the opportunity. So I have a great nephew.
Okay.
He's great, but he's also my great nephew.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And they were in town like a few days before my birthday, and they kept him up. Like he's 3, 2, 3.
Little guy.
We got to take him out to Antelope Park, and I got to catch his first firefly for him.
Oh, nice.
My mom gave him a jar just like she gave me when I was a kid. He had a jar, and like we caught fireflies. I mean, I don't know. That's magic right there.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing.
We didn't smash them and put the glow juice all over.
Right.
All right. So
why not?
No fireflies were hurt in the outing.
Yeah, I've kind of had a few moments of that lately, of just the, wonders of nature.
We can discover the wonders of nature.
Yeah, it's really, really quite incredible.
What's blown your mind?
I can't even remember.
Okay.
I would say chickens, but that's just a meme at this point. It's, I don't know. Just one of those things, out riding the bike, something pretty, saw it and was like, this is not an accident. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it? Who knows? I don't.
Kirsten and I went on a little ride. This is the Ode to Kirsten episode. Goodness. I love you, babe. We went on a ride down to East Campus, UNL East Campus.
Mm-hmm. And some ice cream.
We did get some ice cream.
You walked through the arboretum and all the flowers and the trees and the.
Yeah, and she took some amazing photos of these huge flowers and and
I love it there. It's great.
I love it there too. It's like a hidden gem.
It is. It's fantastic.
It's not hidden at all, but like
it's not, but it's not on the beaten path either. Like you kind of have to go there.
You have to go there, and it's not. Yeah, like I think Sunken Gardens probably gets all the love.
Well, because it's high traffic,
Right,
and it is really nice.
Hang out at the East Campus Arboretum sometime.
Yeah, it's really great. Get some ice cream, which is also really great.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
We got some chocolate toffee stuff that. Yep.
So I gotta ask you.
Please.
I was Strava stalking you.
Oh yeah.
And on one of your rides, the caption was "Scoops sucks."
Scoops sucks.
Why?
I'm sorry if people out there love Scoops, and if any of our listeners,
my daughters, we go to Scoops because it's by our house. So why don't you? Because I think the ice cream is great. I love it.
Okay. Well, first off, I should put the caveat out there.
That sucks. That was passionate.
I like to title my rides on Strava with funny stuff.
Yeah.
We rode there. Kirsten and I were on a long ride. We're like, let's go to Scoops.
Which one? The one on Van Dorn or the one by my house?
The one on Van Dorn.
Okay. I haven't been to that one. So maybe
I
that one does suck.
There was one by your house. So I should.
Scoops 2. There's a sequel.
Okay. Well, I went there and I noticed this big sign when I went inside
Uh-huh.
that said uh, Dole Whip. They had Dole Whip.
Like orange whips, 3 orange whips.
Dole. I don't know what do you?
That,
I
that's
don't. I
from the
don't know
Blues
that reference.
Brothers. Anyway, sorry,
Oh,
man. John
okay.
Candy,
Sorry.
3 orange
I
whips.
wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that.
No, you weren't. I sideswiped you.
Pineapple
Sorry.
Dole Whip, right?
Yeah,
It's like this. I got it at Disneyland, and it's the best thing ever, right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
And it's vegan, and I was like, great, I'm gonna have some Dole Whip.
Uh-huh.
Dole Whip machine is broken, so I was like, oh, that
Okay.
sucks.
That
Well,
does suck.
I'm like, I'll probably just get some coffee ice cream, babe. I'm gonna use the restroom, and they're like, oh yeah, both restrooms are down. And I was just like, you know what?
Fuck this
Scoop
place.
sucks. That's me. That's a me problem though. But I'm like used to like Zesto and the South Street Dairy Queen and
Yeah.
the dairy store and C&L Dairy Suite. And I was just like, you know what, Scoops, you're on probation, Scoops. So I got to go to the other Scoops. Go ahead.
I have a food purveyor coming off probation story.
Oh, see, I do that though. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm all or nothing. I'm like, if you like that place is not around anymore. Thank God. Bread and
Right.
Cup.
Oh,
Fuck Bread and Cup, man. I'm
What-
glad
what-
they ended.
I was never there. Why? What was your beef with them?
They're just awful. Everything
Oh.
takes too long. They're too cool for school.
Oh,
Everything's
yeah.
too expensive. Here's why. I got stuck with a large bill there once, and that's why I hate it. So
Oh,
it's like
gotcha.
nothing that they did. They just got stiffed with a
Well,
bill there
I
once.
get that.
You know, it was like
Do that all the time.
$170 later. Anyway, what?
Well,
what
I
place-
had. I mean, we have a long relationship with Sultan's Kite. I've been eating at
Oh,
Sultan's
yeah.
Kite since Sultan opened his doors. However, many
Oh
years- when I
no,
worked
you
at
had a
the-
falling out with Sultan's Kite?
Well, yeah, because they fucked me at the drive-through. They did. Like during the pandemic, I ordered $80 worth of food, drove all the way across town from my house to 14th and Pine Lake. I should have just gone downtown.
Yeah.
They handed it through me through the drive-through, and I'm like, "It's all here," and they're like, "Yep." I'm like, "Cool." I get it home, and a third of my order was missing, including
Ooh.
like the salad and the tzatziki.
no.
So I had a bunch of dry ass shawarma that was cold now, and which that's not on, that was meated. But it was like, and I called him. I'm like, "Where's the rest of my order?" And like, "You
Yeah.
didn't get it." I'm like, "That's why I'm calling you." And the resolution was not satisfactory, And so I was like, and how many times have I eaten at Sultan's Kite with you?
You have kept you've eaten Sultan's Kite a lot.
Right. And I was like, I wanted some sort of satisfaction that I absolutely did not get. Like the next day they refunded me like $8. And I'm like, that meal was ruined.
Yeah, right.
Like it was ruined.
I had dry ass shawarma, dude.
I mean, everybody was all excited for this great thing. We get it home and it's like there was shawarma and falafel with no tzatziki.
That's brutal.
It was
Well,
not great.
We
So
got
anyway,
yes.
Gianna wanted Sultan's Kite for birthday. I'm like, fine. So I went downtown and ordered it. And by
Yeah.
the way, love the new downtown. Have you
Yeah,
been
they
in
got
there?
they bought like the place next to
Yeah,
them
yeah,
and like blew it out.
It's dude, it actually has ambiance and it doesn't smell like
Yeah.
pine sol.
But the pine sol is part of it.
No, that was norm. The
Oh,
M&M
yeah.
sandwich shop could get away with pine sol.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's very nice. And the people that were working were awesome. And they totally hooked me up. Just tzatziki for days. And it was great. And we took it home and we ate like kings, like sultans. And it was magnificent. So I'm back on the Sultans train.
Good. They totally redeemed themselves.
Totally redeemed themselves. I was so mad about I was just disappointed, because it's like it's a goddamn pandemic. We're, the one thing we can do is go get some takeout.
Right.
And it was actually bad.
See, it's one of those things too, though, that like those of you that don't live in Lincoln, Nebraska, where he went, the drive-through is literally like it's like longer to drive there than from your house to Omaha. It's like
It's a 35-minute drive basically.
Yeah.
And I should have just gone downtown, but I thought, well, parking and I know that I can just get in there and be fine. But it was a shit show. And this is a problem. Like it was bad. It was legitimately like a
what did we say on that trip to Chicago? First class problems are still problems, man.
It's true. Whatever. Anyway, you had it. Scoop sucks for like,
Scoop
and
sucks.
it really pained me for like 6 months. I was like, I won't eat at Sultan's Cat again because I was just mad.
I do that too, and it's dumb because I bet the scoops by your house. I bet if I go there on it with a different attitude, it'll be just fine.
The ice cream's great. Like it's so good. I don't understand the scoop thing because it's literally. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's like a square.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I like why it's like a weird gimmick that I don't understand why it exists. But
Yep.
I've gotten over that because the ice cream's so good, I can hardly stand it. In fact, I want to go get some right now.
Is it better than bear with us, everybody. We went from like childhood trauma to like ice cream,
which is
but-
where it usually always ends up.
Yeah,
okay?
like this is like what would really
I'm
fix me.
I'm having some feelings right now. Where's
could
the ice
save-
cream?
I could save about $150 on my next therapy appointment if I
Right.
just went to Dairy Queen and ate my
a
feelings.
bucket of Blue Bunny and
Uh,
is it better than
Ivana
Ivana Cone? Totally different thing.
yeah,
This is more like along the lines of like Baskin Robbins. I don't know if you have any memories of that.
I do have memories of that.
So
Well, in LA, they had them everywhere.
Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, it's like that, but kind of on steroids, maybe. Like just more flavors and more stuff, and it's
We ended
good.
up getting shaved ice though, and it was pretty
Oh.
fucking good.
Yeah, I guess.
I was just feeling shaved ice.
I know, fine.
They did not hold back on the syrup on that
That's
shaved
good.
ice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
Right.
like it was
They
Sugar
drowned it.
Town.
Yeah.
Sugar Town. You know where I haven't been in a long time? Fuck it. This is what we're talking about. You know, I haven't been in a long time.
Where?
Goodrich.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Goodrich. Well, because I remember going to Goodrich when it was a dairy store as a kid, where you got the milk in the glass bottles.
Yes.
And then like they had ice cream too, and it was really good.
Yes.
Simple but good.
Yep.
But then they all combined with Colby Ridge, and it's fine.
Yeah, I remember.
It's kind of expensive and it's kind of average now because there's so much good ice cream in this town now.
There is. I'm a soft serve guy.
Yeah, it's okay.
I
have not had a Zesto in like 15 years.
You need to go get a mix in.
I need to go get a mix.
You need to get a mix in or a crunch coat or something.
My favorite thing in the whole world is the Dairy Queen crunch coat.
Here's what I need to. Sorry, I totally stepped. Crunch coat is great. I don't really love it because I have my thing that I get there.
Whatever.
But I get a thing at the South Street Dairy Queen now.
Uh-huh.
And I want everybody. This is something our listeners can do if you're still listening. I told our friend Matt about this, and
now we're talking about ice cream.
Now we're talking about ice cream. I call it a shit can sundae, and I call it that. And now I order it, and the 17-year-old that takes my order just looks at me like I punched their dog in the face. But I'm like, I'd like a shit can sundae, and they're like, I don't know what that. I'm like, let me explain. A shit can sundae is when you get a sundae, hot fudge, and peanut butter sauce.
Okay. All right. I'm with you.
And the last time I went there the other day, they put a layer of both at the bottom, a layer of both at the top.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, this is a thing. So I want people to go to the South Street Dairy Queen in Lincoln, Nebraska
and order a shit can sundae.
A shit can sundae. And I want it to be a thing. It won't, but I want it to be a thing.
That's so great.
I kind of want one right now, honestly.
Shit can sundae.
Yeah, man. Fucking eat my feels.
Why not? I mean, this is America. That's almost like a God-given right in this country.
It's cheaper than therapy.
That's what I'm saying. Go get yourself a jumbo size, whatever. Treat yourself.
Jumbos, dude. They have jumbo pizzas at Valentino's. It's a running joke in our house. Jumbos. Like, what is a jumbo? Their larges are the size of my fucking this table in front of me. It's like,
and you have a problem with that?
No, I don't. I'm just like, why do we need a jumbo?
Because more pizza. Do we have to get into surface area versus cost? Like how much of a better deal? Like the bigger the pizza, the better the deal.
Is it?
Most definitely, yes. Don't ever buy a medium pizza. Like that's even if you're thinking, well, I'm not that hungry, and get the large for like $2 more. Because you're almost doubling your surface area.
Yeah.
For $2 more.
But then I'm also doubling my volume in my belly.
That's a you issue. You can't control yourself, and I understand that.
Uh-huh.
Always get the large.
All right. So by that reasoning, we should just, Kirsten, if you're listening this far, we should just get the jumbo.
Get the jumbo. Yes.
Jumbos, everybody. They
Yep.
have them at Valentino's.
That's right. Yeah, just YouTube, like, pizza value or like square footage. There's lots of people talking about that. We don't need to get into it, but yeah, it's definitely a
I
thing.
feel like that's probably a whole Reddit thread.
Yeah. Yeah. But pizza's like, generally speaking, the more you buy, there's a uniquely American concept, but the more you buy, the more you save, right?
Yeah.
Like the large whatever, it's a little bit more for more size, but pizza in particular it's almost like how carnival games are rigged.
Okay.
Like that level of like scam. Like get the big pizza.
Okay.
Yep.
That's why you go to Costco all the time, isn't it?
I go to Costco because we go through tons of paper products here.
Okay.
And it's legit a lot cheaper to buy them there.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. And I am a sucker for $1.50 hot dog with a drink. So
I hear they're back. I hear
they're back. They are back. They're not completely back though. They don't have the onions out yet, so we're working on that. But at least you can sit in Costco and eat one now. So that's, I guess, the pandemic's over.
That's it.
We did it. The sign. I know.
Confetti cannons go.
Yeah, I love. Oh man.
Mission accomplished, everybody.
That's what. Oh my God! Nice tie-in. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Aren't we? That was, when did that happen? That was what, 12 years ago? That was 2 presidents ago. 3.
That was Bush. That was
3
Bush.
presidents ago. Mission accomplished. So, and we're just now sort of kind of pulling out of Afghanistan.
We did it. Mission accomplished on the aircraft carrier.
Oh my God.
We did it. How many people have fucking died since that shit show? Mission accomplished.
You mean civilians?
No, people, just human beings.
There's a website, I think it's IraqiDeathCount.org, where it tracks as close as they can civilian deaths. And I can tell you that we have avenged 9/11 hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times over.
Did we ever find those weapons of mass destruction, Steve?
No, they weren't a thing, actually.
Oh, they weren't?
No.
Mission accomplished.
They were never a thing. It was all, well, it was all a hoax.
Wow.
Yeah. But, we sure got them.
We got them. We did it.
We got them.
We did it.
We're winning that one. We're winning the war on drugs. America's winning.
We beat COVID today.
We beat COVID today. We're number 1. That's the important thing.
Well, that's the thing. I saw, again, a meme.
In jailing our population and infant deaths and
there was like this thing is like
costs and
like, what would make anyone think we would continue to instate health measures that would save people's lives because, gun control, war on drugs, mass incarceration, racism, police brutality.
Right. No. It's not a thing.
So if it's not affecting me,
right.
Fuck, I do need some ice cream, man.
See?
Wow.
It all comes back to ice cream.
Yeah.
Which, so that's the thing, is that we do live in a country and we have the means, or if we want to, right now, we can go either drive our car or ride our bike to any number of wonderful ice cream emporiums.
And get a jumbo for the way home.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, man.
Shove it in your face hole. Make everything better.
Please title the name of this one, Shove It in Your Face Hole. Oh,
take that. Now, should I say take that Osama or take that Obama? Which one?
Oh, don't. Neither. I'm pulling the ripcord on that conversation. I feel like we've gotten way off the map, and now I just want to ask you, like, what are you watching these? What have you watched these? What
I've literally watched is I started. Yeah. I wasn't kidding about Burt Reynolds movies. I watched side by side, kind of in 15, 20-minute chunks, because that's how I watch things.
Mm-hmm.
Boogie Nights and Smokey and the Bandit. And it's been really weird and really wonderful. And
I know I've seen Smokey and the Bandit, right? I
Oh,
have seen that
dude.
movie, but I saw it at an age when I didn't fully get it.
It's so you couldn't make it today, I don't
No,
think. And I
no.
mean, Jackie Gleason he's amazing in that movie.
Right.
He's amazing playing the stereotypical Southern racist sheriff,
Mm-hmm.
kind of bumbling, but also kind of awesome. Like
Mhm.
it's sometimes he says things you're like, yeah, I don't think you can say that today.
No, probably not. Probably not.
But he can. He's just saying things everybody's thinking.
Right. Oh yeah.
But there's so much like it's really eye opening. It was made in like 77. Just the overt open racism.
Mhm.
It's just right out there. It's shameless, and stereotypes galore. But
Yep.
it's also it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's
right.
Alfred Hitchcock called it his favorite guilty pleasure movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's cool.
I mean, it's just a you have to suspend reality a little bit, and it's 100% just redneck fun. And you have to kind of sign on for that. I mean, it's driving a semi truck full of beer from Texas to Atlanta,
Right.
so that people can get drunk after a thing.
What year is that?
77.
77.
Yeah. So if you couple that, I mean, just you go back and look at what was happening in 1977. Like, well, of course that was popular,
Mhm. Mhm.
But it's just a hoot. You have to suspend a lot of things. You can't
Sure.
be too uptight.
Yep.
But
Well,
Jackie Gleason and Burt Reynolds and Jerry, oh God, what's his name? The sidekick who actually makes the movie, and I just lost it. Whatever, it's great. And then Boogie Nights, which is just an incredibly sad movie.
dude, the way
sad.
that the slow burn of that, well, it's not slow burn, but the way that movie sort of just evolves into that really sadness.
Yep.
It starts as a party, and it is the party.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It is.
I don't know if it's like Requiem for a Dream brutal, but it's up there. I mean,
yeah, it's like that. It is.
So anyway, that's what I've been watching lately.
The scene from Boogie Nights when they're in the drug dealer's house.
Yep.
Oh,
with
fuck.
the pot, with the firecrackers.
Oh my God. I feel like I've been in a similar scenario, and it's like,
I have been.
What am I doing here?
That's my Airstream trailer outside of Reno story.
Right. How did I get here? I watched well, I haven't finished it, but we started watching American Utopia, the David Byrne on Broadway performance thing.
Oh, good God, that was so cool. I haven't seen it, but I've seen snippets of it.
Everybody has to watch this thing. It's on Amazon Prime, I think now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
It is. I mean, I am sad that I missed that. And he fucking toured that. Like he had a residency on Broadway, but he also toured that shit. And it's like
it's amazing.
Performance art, and it's a live band doing weird dance stuff, and it's like it's kind of a storyteller's thing too.
Yeah.
I'm like, David Byrne, we don't deserve David Byrne.
We do not deserve David Byrne, but
he's
there
so
he is.
Great.
He's so great. He has been since 1976, 77.
Oh, and then I watched
he's like the perfect antidote to Smokey and the Bandit.
100%.
Yeah.
And then Kirsten and I got back on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer / Angel Horse. Have I talked to you about this?
I don't know what I know. I'm vaguely aware the Buffy exists, and I don't know what Angel Horse is. Do I care?
Angel Horse?
Yeah.
It's Angel. I back on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. So
where did the horse come from?
Well, I got back on the horse. That's what I
see. Angel Horse. You're on Angel Horse. Got it.
Angel Horse is a different movie. I don't know if it's a movie, but early lockdown.
Yeah, I know you went through a big Buffy phase.
We're like, hey, I rolled my eyes and thought I was dumb in the 90s. Although, truth be told, I would get high and watch Dawson's Creek all the time. So full disclosure, which I don't get high anymore, but I may go back through Dawson's Creek. Anyway, I'm like, Buffy the Vampire, it's cheesy, it's camp, it's stupid. I'm not going to watch it.
Right.
Well, Kirsten's like, you need to watch it because she's like, when I was a punk ass teenager, I would still come home and watch Buffy with my parents. So we started watching it, and it's like, it's not so bad. It's good. It's like, first, let me say the fight choreography in Angel and in Buffy the Vampire Slayer is really good for what at the time, but that's my guilty pleasure, and like, it's so much fun. So much fun.
All right.
So
well,
yeah,
we're now we started watching the third season of Kaminsky Method, kind of fizzled out on that because we frankly just got sucked back into Schitt's Creek again.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that one again.
Really?
I mean, it's good. Maybe it'd be not that I didn't like it. I loved it. It was wonderful, hilarious.
It's
refreshing. But I'm like,
I
don't know if I need to watch that again.
I think we just kind of missed the roses.
Well, we went back through New Girl.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, New Girl. It was a sitcom with Zooey Deschanel and a few other people.
Okay.
It's funny. I think it's funnier than Friends by a long shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna let that comment sit there.
Sure, that's fine. There's a lot that could be said. There's the whole episode. We'll let the less than 2,000 guys handle that.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, Adam, if you're out there, you should have the debate on whether or not Friends was funny. Maybe they've already done that episode, but if you haven't,
yeah,
you should.
I haven't listened to their one on True Romance yet. I need to do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I should do that.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
So I've
been listening to this. I'm at the point, and I don't want to draw this podcast out even further, but
yeah, we're kind of getting close to time.
It now is the fish part of my summer.
Oh, are you actually actively listening to Fish?
I'm actively listening to Fish.
Man, how's that going?
It's going great. I actually, I got on YouTube the other day, and a show popped. One of their dinner and a movie shows popped up, and it was this show from like 91.
We just lost all of our listeners.
Sorry, everybody. This show and it was unbelievably good.
Well,
so it kind of
that's still now that they've been touring for 30 plus years now, like, because that's when I started getting into them was 1990, 1991. That super fast pace, those super tight, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And then they kind of drifted away from that for a while, and then they turned into the funk machine after they played the Talking Heads album Remaining Light.
Yeah,
they went all simple, stripped down funk.
Yeah,
and then that's kind of when I re-engaged with them a little bit.
Yeah,
and they kind of and then Trey had his issues, and they kind of called it quits, and I kind of like, well, whatever, and I did other things, and now then they came back from that, and it's like, oh my god, it's like Resurgence number 4.
I know. Well, there was I don't know if there's a last studio album and the studio album before that. I'm like, I'm gonna get into this. I
hate those studio albums.
I was like, I hate
all of them.
This is so bad.
Yeah, it's bad. I hate all of them. I hate them. I can't listen to them. I would rather listen to a 1995 Grateful Dead concert than a Fish studio album from the last 20 years.
Ooh, and you don't listen to 95 at all, do you?
I try to, but it's just sad, and it makes me sad. And hindsight being 2020 and all, it never should have happened, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm having a weird late Fish summer.
That's good. I mean, I love listening. I mean, their last New Year's show was ridiculous. They're still an amazing live band that if you're like, oh, fuck Fish, well, fuck you.
I think I think we're gonna get some blowback from at least one listener. Maybe Matt will take us to the Matt. Fuck you, Matt. Who cares?
That's fine. I've been listening to, you're not going to tell me anything I haven't heard.
I'm probably going to pay for at least one of those shows. It's on stream. I'm going to stream it. I can't go on tour, but because everybody, whatever, but I'll do it. I'll check them out.
Yeah. They're one of those things that it's kind of like, I get it now. Like when I was going to a lot of Grateful Dead concerts, and older heads would be like, I might go see them. I was like, what do you mean? Like, they're here. Why aren't you like, I don't know. I got a thing.
Right.
And that's how I haven't actually seen Fish since 1996.
Right.
So that was like guys that, when I was going to Dead shows, they're like, I haven't actually seen them since like, I don't know, 74 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. like what?
Yeah.
Anyway. Now nobody cares. Everybody's covered ice cream and music that nobody cares about.
Here's the thing, man. I love talking to you, and
I feel a lot better
re-
than I did an hour ago. So
Me too. I really appreciate you. This is because I thought about that. I'm like, am I going to even talk about this thing? It's like, you know
yeah,
what?
you are.
Yeah, I
What else are we
am.
going to talk about? Fish. Let's go out to dinner and see a movie.
Dude, that show from '91, the first song was Chalk Dust Torture, and that
Uh-huh.
had me. And I watched the whole show.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, really was.
All right, dude. I love you.
I love you too, Steve. Thank you so much for I'm gonna, yeah.
You're gonna
I'm
do
really,
things?
really grateful for you, man. I'm grateful
Yeah,
that
you
we do
too.
this, and I'm looking forward to our blind date guest. And
Yeah. Maybe next week we can try to do a live one. I'll get my shit together.
get your shit together, man.
Trying. That's all I'm trying to do.
Look
man.
at
That's
my
all.
fucking porch. I've got twinkly
Yeah,
lights.
dude. I'll bring
I've got-
you have AC power. We're gonna make it happen. I'll get my mix.
Yeah, we'll come over here. We'll drink some bubbly water. I got a golden Buddha we can look at over there. It'll be great.
Far out, man. I'll see you.
All right.
All right. Later.
Later.
but you drive me back. Your love for me has got to be real. I ain't gonna know just how I feel. Love's real, not fade away. Not fade away.